Hello and welcome to the monthly Children of Light chat. Um, Today is March 1st, 2026, and we're going to be talking about the upcoming conference, things that we can do to prepare for this conference, the sacred herbs, um, maybe some weather issues. We don't know. um, Laura's got some stuff coming up in the next month, next couple weeks, doing some stuff in her neighborhood. Um, and then I believe Diane's going to talk a little bit about herbs. So go ahead and start off. I want to talk about the early bird registrations, 250 until March 31st. Please sign up uh, uh, right away and often, as Joe would say. Um, did some updates on the website and the store. I fixed some prices on things. I brought the oil prices to a palatable spot. Tuning forks, I had adjusted some of those as well. Um, One set of tuning forks did go up in price. The other ones maintained. Some other tuning forks went down in price. The chakra set went up in price because uh, they they went up in price. the We have these things called tariffs that cost that severely affected aluminum. So sorry guys, some of the prices went. Just one price went up, other prices went down. That's it, really. Some prices of the oils
What is
have
the new price?
199 for the
The new
set, and
price?
that's preliminary. It may go up a little
99?
bit. Yeah, 199 for the chakra set, and that includes the bag. Um, and uh, I generally include when I sell a chakra set, I include a chakra tuning chart. And then if you want the manual, there's the manuals like $15 or something like that. And of course, if you purchase forks, I always have support for you guys. Now that Joe is no longer doing the store and I'm doing the store, give me a call anytime. If you guys got any questions about anything, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I'll walk you through it. I'll send you information. I will return your call. I generally get the stuff out within a reasonable time. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get an order out, and it's only because of things going on around here. But if it's not in stock, I'll let you know. And then tuning forks, generally, if they're not in stock, they take 3 to 6 weeks because it takes 2 to 5 weeks for me to get them. So then I have to paint them. If they don't need paint, then I ship them. So I've got plenty of oil in stock at this point in time. I just made a batch of Michael's oil. I didn't think I was going to be making the oils. I thought I was going to have to go through Joe and Gabby, and Joe said no. Michael said you can make the oils, so I guess I'm making the oils. Um, and it's kind of an interesting experience to make those. It feels really, really good. I don't know if Joe noticed any of the things that were going on when he was making them, but I've noticed everything. It gets kind of weird, and I like that kind of weird. It's kind of mystical. As far as uh, forks go, I've got plenty of stock. I'm only missing one fork. I'm missing the third eye fork. I'm waiting for the next order. I need to be able to place an order, but in order for me to place an order, I need to sell some forks. So buy some forks or some oil so I can get some forks. Anyhow, also
You have the
just
energy fork in stock?
I do have the energy fork in stock, and I have most of the forks in stock. The only fork I don't have in stock is the third eye. So I've got everything else.
Okay.
So I'm like I said, I was just waiting on an order to go ahead and place an order, and they have a minimum for me, so I have to, you know, there is a bit of a minimum. I believe it's 500 minimum purchase. So I gotta sell some stuff in order to do that. Sales have been kind of slow. Joe's website, beatpeace.net, is blank at this time. However, we do still, Joe still owns the name. He has paid for the domain. I'm just waiting for my web guy to show me or to put the name over so that it can go to angelicgate.com. So be at peace. You go to that, it'll go to Angelic Gate. And then I'm going to change a few things on the front and make it a little more user friendly. Um, there's it took me years to make Angelic Gate the first one, and I had it dialed in pretty good. And now that we have the new site, I'm not the guy doing all of the work on the website. I have a guy that does it for me, and when he's available, I'm able to go ahead and get in and do some stuff. But I got all the important stuff on the website. Um, and if you have any questions, of course, you can email me, text me, or call, whichever works. And we'll get the information to you. If you're on the website and you want to go to the next page, there's a blank bar at the bottom of the page, and it'll give you more oils and it'll give you more forks. So if you're looking at forks, I'm trying to figure out how to get it to say click here for more. I'm kind of new at Wix. It's a Wix application, and I don't know it very well. I knew HTML. That one was easy for me. I could just make the button for it. So I'm learning, and anyhow, we'll be getting that stuff taken care of. All the visits are up. I did notice 2003 was missing a couple, but I can get that fixed in as soon as the web guy calls. Um, and but everything else is pretty well on the level as far as the website goes. Um, the next event is coming up in June, and it is imperative that gathered masters show up. We also have available for masters who have not been gathered yet to come to the event. It's totally okay. We have a place for them outside of the formation, so they will be participating with us. They will be the focal point for our when we push everything out into the world. You know how a crystal in the window and the sunlight goes through the window? That's what they're going to be kind of acting like. The rainbow will be cast through them, or the light will be cast through them, and it'll go out into the world. And it does look like a rainbow. I saw it last year and the year before last. So that'll be some cool stuff. I believe we have somebody that'll be doing a Zoom speak. So far, we're going to be doing a astrology herbalist. Sounds very interesting. And herbs are right up our alley. And astrology, hey, that's the roadmap in the sky. So it tells us when the seasons are going to happen. It tells us, you know, gives us ideas of how to plan our year. So astrology is quite important. Excuse me. Michael hasn't really talked about astrology, but he did say that our loving God put the map up in the sky for us to see and follow, and we're learning how to do that. And there are people that are very efficient at doing just that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Laura. She's got some information for us. Laura?
Okay. The astrologer is my personal astrologer. She's also Joanne Mackow's astrologer. Her name is Dawn Silver, and she knows a lot about a lot of things. She's a crystal healer, an astrologer, a naturopath. She knows a lot about nutrition. So the talk is basically nutrition and astrology. We were thinking that Wednesday, the first day of the conference, would focus on nutrition because Michael has said that the herbs, the foods, are the foundation. They're what helps us to hold the vibrations of the forks and the oils. So Dawn is probably going to be doing a Zoom presentation, and it should be really interesting. I'm going to give her the list of foods that Michael gave us and have her focus on those. And I know that there are foods that the different zodiac signs have an affinity for. I'm a Pisces, so there are certain foods that I resonate with more than others, and same with the other zodiac signs. So that's one thing we have in place. We're going to have the movie Popcorn and Chocolate Night. Didn't happen last year because of technical difficulties. However, we'll have those worked out since we know the hotel now. So we'll have that again. I also made a reservation at Sunday Salmon Restaurant, where we're going to have our family dinner. And this time it's going to be on Saturday the 20th, the day of the Grand Formation. We'll have dinner together right before we go into the Grand Formation. And I've requested their Thanksgiving dinner. So it's all organic, everything that you normally have at Thanksgiving time, and also wild caught salmon. So it's going to be really, really good food. And I rented the whole restaurant. So that's going to be nice. And working on some other ideas. Still got a couple months away, but that's what I've got in place so far.
Excellent. Yeah, this year is
And I
going to be
welcome your ideas and suggestions.
well, this year it's going to be surrounded mostly by teachings, going over what we know. We have a huge body of information, so we'll be spending a lot of time going over the nuts and bolts, trying to go over things that you may not remember or you may not have learned. Um, we'll be talking about gatherings, how to conduct one, because a lot of folks have been gathered at the events. We're no longer doing it that way. We're doing it at homes. They're uh, a 3 day thing, generally on the weekends, or you can pick any 3 days in the week as long as you have 7 people that can line up with that, 8, including yourself as the servant. Uh, the whole idea of this gig is gatherings. So, if you haven't done a gathering yet, now's the time to start thinking about it. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to see things that are, you know, happening in the world, and they want to do something about it. When we come together in these events, we can dramatically impact what's going on the planet. We can calm down the energy real easy by bringing a whole bunch of gathered masters together, and sending out that vibration. So, it's important to do these things. And I think one of the reasons why we haven't really gotten our footing as far as numbers at the event is because we lost our footing on gatherings. We kind of changed them up a little bit. So we're going to go right back to the very basics of the gathering and encourage folks to do it the way Michael showed us how to do it, which is the most efficient way of doing the gathering. It's nothing on anybody that's done anything. Nobody's done anything wrong. It just what we've done doesn't work. So let's go with what Michael gave us and let's see how that works. I think that's a good step in a direction. Um, is As far as what to do between now and then, we still have the all the tuning processes that you can do on yourself. If you have a set of tuning forks, figure out which set you have, and you may have them all. If you have oils, pull those out. Give them a sniff. If they're rancid, buy some new ones. And if I've got plenty in stock, I've got the 2 mil, I got the 5 mil in stock, ready to ship it out. And if I don't have any, I'll make some more. Um, the church oil process is quite powerful. It's something you can do every 40 days or so. Uh, Laura has written about it on several occasions in the newsletter. And it's really simple. What my wife and I do is at 8 o'clock on Sunday, we get together and we do a drop of oil. We do Smyrna on Sunday, Ephesus on Monday, and so on and so forth. So you just do those and boom. Oh, you can also do the Novus Invictus, put Novus Invictus oil on your temples just before you do it, and that'll give it that extra zing. So, and there is an extra zing that comes with that. So, tuning your chakras also helps the oil to permeate throughout your body in a much more efficient manner. So then it also gives you an opportunity to tune your chakras on a regular basis. So, um, there's just a lot we can do in the meantime. So, I also want to know, given that we have so much teachings, is there anything that anybody needs or would like to see as far as a Zoom class? I'm thinking a 2 hour, one, two, maybe three-part Zoom class to help, or a Zoom webinar to assist people in grasping this knowledge a little bit tighter. Um, there are some things that have to be in person. So, like the DAW off process, learning how to go into the DAW off, you need to be in person. The wholeness blessing thing, got to be in person. Uh, a lot of the oil stuff, it's best to be in person. But we can do instructions and things like that. As long as you don't bathe yourself in the stuff and blow your chakras out, you're good. But always use Michael first and you're safe. So,
I just saw in the newsletter there's process for the organs.
yes, I'm going to be
I
talking about that towards the end.
I saw that and I was like, "Oh, wow. I actually would like to know way more about that."
Excellent, excellent. You know what? Um, I,
Tuning the organs process.
I got that. I'm going to pull up the file real quick while Diane turns on her microphone and
In the
talks about
newsletter. I
hers.
put it in the newsletter.
Yeah, it was in the newsletter and then it has different organs and
Oh, is the
I don't know,
process in
have
there?
we
I'll just pull up the
been
newsletter.
taught
No
this
problem.
process before?
We've been taught this from the beginning. Joe developed this early on,
Not a random attack, but an
about, gosh,
extreme annihilation.
I want to say
Targets and then exploded. The result? 10,000
2000,
melted in flames.
around 2000,
Yeah,
98, 99.
I don't
When
recall.
we got the tuning forks, is when he started doing the organ tuning. So that was right around 98, 99. 96 he did, 97 he did the first gathering, and then there were some gatherings done that year. There were three or four gatherings done, or two or three gatherings done that year, and there were a couple done the next year. And that's when I got gathered, but I met Joe way before then, back in 96, and all he had was he didn't have really anything. He had a book, okay, and he didn't really have any tools to go along with it. But after a period of time, we started, the more gatherings that happened, the more information we were given. Okay. So there's something to doing gatherings. The more gatherings we do, the more of the energy we have available for us. However, there's more that the angels can give us as we have more gathered masters. The whole idea is to get as many gathered masters as possible. At first, you can do 4 gatherings. That was in the beginning, up until about 2016. After 2016, Michael said, okay, go ahead, you can do 7 gatherings each. So if you've already done 4 gatherings and you think you're finished with gatherings, you can do 3 more. Don't do more than 3 more. As Michael said, we're building a tree, not a bush. Okay. So if you have too much, you got too much fruit on your branch, because each gathering that you do, when you do a gathering, it creates a branch. That branch creates fruit. The masters in your gathering are the fruit of that branch. If you have too much fruit, that branch is going to break off. That means that you can have some issues come up in your life that is going to cause some chaos that is not welcome to you. So it's really important to follow the instructions that Michael gives us, because one, it takes a whole lot for him to come in and give us this information. And two, there's a reason why, because that's what's going to work. What a concept, huh? Yes, we have ideas about, oh, what if we did it this way, or what if we did it that way, or what if we did it that way? Well, we've had those ideas, and here we are a long time past when we could have had the thing done with. So let's bring it back to the basics. 7 gatherings, you're going to be good to go. Your branch won't trip off. I was looking up real quick, go back over here. I'm going to go into the newsletter. I've got 2 screens up. I got another screen over there. And, newsletter.
was paid off, and the operators
A
pulled the
name's
trigger.
later.
This depot in Kursk was no
What's
ordinary-
Joe watching?
It was the most
World
I have
War-
no idea.
World War III stuff?
Yeah,
Inside is not-
yeah, basically.
I'm joking. All right, where is it? Tuning the organs. Okay, so what it says in here is you can raise the frequencies of your organs to bring them back to the proper frequency. For example, as it says in here, if the lungs are not working efficiency, oxygen to the rest of the body is reduced. We can change the way an organ functions and bring the body back into balance. We start by tuning the lower frequency and move up to the higher frequencies. This can be done in two ways. You tap the first fork to get get it vibrating and place the stem on the area above the organ till it stops. Go to the next higher frequency and repeat the process until the forks for that organ have been used. So you take the oils and you mix a drop of each and apply them on the skin over the organ. And the second way is to tap the lower frequency tuning fork and hold the stem on the organ. This time, start at the next higher frequency tuning fork. So let's say you've got, you're doing, it's a violet fork and you got a red fork, okay? Which one's the higher frequency? The violet. Okay. The red fork is a lower frequency, so you would start with the violet instead of the red. If that gets confusing, please do give me a call or email me and I can help explain this through. So
Dave.
go ahead.
Yeah, Karen, if you have the tuning fork manual, it's all self-explanatory in there. If you don't, with your frequencies, the shorter the fork, the higher the frequency. And the longer the fork, the lower the frequency.
So like the nerve fork is 50 hertz. So it's pretty long.
Right, they
It
don't
is.
list the frequencies of these forks, okay? You will, your forks you're using in tuning the organs will be, you'll be using the chakra forks, your angel tree of life forks, your Michael Metatron, Shekinah, and I believe Sandalphon. Yeah, Sandalphon.
Some of the frequencies are proprietary. So
Right.
that's why we don't give out the frequency. Yeah, you can figure them out, but it ain't going to be accurate because the angels come in and do their thing, which leads me into the next conversation about the angels and frequencies. So real quick to wrap this up, the instructions are in there and you just basically follow it right down the line. It's real easy. Let's say you're doing your liver, put the oil on or put the fork on there and then put the oil down. What you do is you're opening it up with the fork and you're sustaining it with the oil, just like in AccuTuning. The reason why you put the fork down first is then you're going to put down an oil. You don't want to get the fork oily. You want to get the body oily. And then you clean off your hands or whatever, and then go on to the next because the oil will kind of strip the paint of the forks too. So
You can just wash over them too.
you could just do a wash. I like to set the stem on things too. So,
Right.
that really just
Yeah,
gives
I
the
would do that
feeling.
first, and then after you apply the oil, there's another, your last step in that process would be apply the frequencies as you did in step number 1. And at that point, just do the wash. You
Exactly.
just wash over them.
So Diane had brought something up earlier. Why don't we just move right into the Shekinah thing?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Diane had pointed something out about our tuning forks and oils. They hold a very high frequency. And what happened is in the
Was it 2018 or 16?
it was
Okay.
16. Shekinah came and explained something. That Joe had just gotten these new Metatron flames and Shekinah flames. And I believe that was the year he got. No, never mind. Okay, it was just the flames. Shekinah said, sanctified and blessed are these flames on this night. Their energy is holy and their vibration of the highest of highs. This will be needed when you stand in the grand formation to call forth her blessing. Okay. So she went on to talk about how they took the forks and the oils and brought them back to the angelic realm and raised the frequencies of them. Okay. And it doesn't matter where they were, all of them. So let's say you've got a set of oils and forks in your basement in Nantucket somewhere, those got affected. Okay. So even if you already own them, boom, they're affected. And from here on out, like when I buy forks and make an oil, the angels will come in and do their thing. And, I may or may not notice it. I don't care. It's not a big deal for me. But the frequencies they set a sacred frequency to the fork. Okay. So, Diane, does that sound about right to you?
No.
What?
No, wait a minute. I'm trying to find it.
In
Jesus.
the see in the future. Wait a minute, I got it.
Was it
Oh,
2016?
yeah, I got it. The vibrations that have been brought forth to your realm have altered many things. The names of God tuning forks have now a powerful vibration that were not available before this night. All frequencies of all of your tuning forks now have a clarity and vibration. That's what she was looking for, that they did not have before. Regardless of where they were obtained or where they were in this world, their vibration has been altered. Their harmonics are now
the flagship of an entire fleet.
in all the masters that
Is it over?
there has not been before this night. You will begin to see in the future the power that the masters have when they come together in oneness. That which they desire to cause will come about because of this.
Not safe though.
Which visit is that?
What's that?
Dave, Diane, which visit? Dave,
This was in
please.
2016, February.
February?
First visit. Now I lost it.
I'll put that in the next newsletter.
Okay. So there's a different vibration to our forks. Yes, you could go out and buy tuning forks, but as Joe used to say, all tuning forks are not made the same. They are not equal. Some have a variance in frequency. Some could be quite accurate. However, ours are accurate to 0.005 hertz, which is close to right the heck on it. So, what did you want to add to that, Diane? Remember we were speaking about this earlier?
No, nothing other than that the clarity and the vibrations were raised, and
And there'll be another clarity. Now, if you look at what's going on since this time, since 10 years, we haven't had a whole lot of more gatherings done in that 10 years. However, if you look around the world and see what's going on, people are awakening in droves. They're starting to talk about things that we are doing. Okay. They weren't talking about those things before. Now they're starting to notice and talk about them. I noticed on some of the videos I've been watching, some of the people I've been listening to, their conversations have changed over the years. And they're moving in towards this oneness state. So we're in a real good spot right now, even though we didn't get this done back in 2008 or 9, like when we were asked to, or 11, by 11. We're still in the game. We still have all of this stuff. The other thing is Michael, Laura has it documented, I think, where Michael has talked about it being up to the masters. Did you go in and find out all the spots where he said that?
Well, there's a quote in the newsletter up
Okay.
towards the top of the newsletter.
And then the last visit we had, Michael said, "Hey, it's up to you guys now. He told Joe in the beginning, you're going to teach for so long and then no more." Well, Joe taught a bunch of people, and some folks stuck with it and some folks moved on, and there are people that are still sticking with it. So we could still gain some traction and get this thing done. So, all right, I'll shut up for a minute and Diane can talk about the herb stuff that she was going to talk about. Or did you have it? Did you get coached on that yet?
Well, Laura pretty much covered everything except that we're in early spring.
Okay.
Early spring with the herbs. And yeah, they're very important. You may notice a change or something when you're taking these herbs. Then again, you may not, as it is with all processes that you do, from tuning your chakras all the way to doing the Holy of Holies, you probably will. But for most of the processes, it's going to be so subtle, as Dave likes to say, it's the butterfly, the vibration of a butterfly, not an explosion of fireworks when you do these processes. So don't be disappointed, when you're like doing the herbs, you're not feeling anything or tuning your chakras or whatever process it is.
Yeah, you're looking for the soaring eagle when it's the butterfly. You're
Right.
looking for the lightning bolt when it's the gentle breeze.
Right. And you may not even notice a difference, but your vibrations are being changed no matter if you just read the angel visits, anything minute, anything you do is not minute with this work.
I got one. Somebody told me, I don't feel enlightened. I says, have you been enlightened before? Well, no. So how do you know how it feels?
Exactly.
It's a way of being. But what we do is we're training our mind, emotion, and our physical body to align with our spiritual selves. Okay? It's subtle. It's not going to be like, you're not going to get they're not going to put an ad out in the New York Times because, Jim Bob McClary became enlightened. Nobody's going to announce anything. When you find yourself, it's like you have a clarity in your world, and you go to do something, and it becomes easier to do. There are struggles along with it, but you don't get all the setbacks, like the frustration, you learn how to calm yourself, to be patient with yourself, and how do you learn who you are? Figure out which one you are in the 7 gifts, the 7 churches, and of course there's always going to be somebody that says, I'm a rainbow. Yeah, you're a rainbow, but there's one particular thing you do particularly well. So
and it's the gift that you're bringing to other churches as you move through those churches throughout your day and week or life, whatever.
Yep.
When you move into those other churches, you're getting their gifts.
Yep.
That's why we were given the oils of all 7 churches, not just one to use on ourselves, that you like me, Pergamum, and Laura would be Sardis. No, we anoint ourselves with all of the church oils so that we can have the gifts of those churches as we move throughout
exactly them. We have the gifts available without the benefit of the trap, is what Michael said. You'll have the gifts available without the benefit of the trap. And you think, what's a benefit in the trap? Well, the trap is where you're not getting it, or you're not aligning with your true self. And then you get to figure out where you're at there and go, oh, why don't I give myself my gift instead of what's not working? And then you move forward in that. Like for me, it would be giving myself the gift of natural knowing. I connect with my conscience and reason, and I start moving forward. If I sit there and doubt everything and overanalyze everything, and I got my head in the clouds, and I'm not going to get anywhere. When I stop and I look at where I'm at, which one of the things that can help you to see where you're at is the 50 gates, When you go through the 50 gates, it tells you exactly where you're at in life. Figure out where you're at, and then you can move forward. So,
Slowly but surely, a little more land.
oh, she's over talking to Joe. I thought she was still here. All right, so let me see if I still have that up. We got angel visits, got the tuning thing.
Which massive advances in 2020.
Yeah, a little bit more about the conference. We want this to be a conference that's a teaching conference so that we can get the masters, build a confidence in them that they will know what they're talking about and how to do it. And Dave, hopefully you can give, how to bring it up with people, how to broach the subject or
Well,
recognize.
actually, you don't necessarily have to bring it up. Just be who you are, and people will go, "Hey, what are you doing? There's something different about you."
Well, right. But then what I'm saying is like, instead of going like, oh yeah, well, yeah, I just feel really good. I'm talking about how to express yourself, or how to speak in a way that would pique their interest as to why you are this way now. Instead of doing something, well, I'm with this Children of Light thing, and you've got to get gathered, and sure would hope you would come to the conference, and blah 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 blah. No, it's got to be subtle. It's like we're not trying to change their mind.
How I generally approach that conversation is 9 times out of 10, people are asking the universe or God or Jesus or whoever, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, whoever, to help them. Help me figure this out. Help me. I'm lost. I want to find myself. And what the 7 churches do is the 7 churches are the revelation, basically. And it tells you how you tick, what your gifts and attributes are, and the things that hold you back in life.
Okay, and this is a conversation that you could have at the conference.
Yep.
To tell people, it's like, and that's another reason for
I'll
why.
go into much more detail at that
Yeah,
time.
exactly. That's what I would,
I'll go into much more detail at that point in time. However, a lot of times I've listened to other masters and they're like, oh, there's these rainbows and you have to figure out if you're an orange or a green or a blue. Michael never calls anybody those. Michael says the church of, or the church as, or the master as the church of, Philadelphia or Sardis. And there's a reason why he doesn't call them colors, or he'll say, as you would call them, red, and he kind of says it in a persnickety way so that it knocks you off that track and onto the track of what the actual vibration is. Each time you say those words, that vibration comes out. Okay. Plus, you're not in a little box. When you put a rainbow, for some reason, people think they're in a little box with circles and circles and dots and dots. Anyhow, that was some of my old trip days. So, did somebody leave? No, it was okay. It's in and out. The internet's going on and off there. So, when you discover your gift or have victory over your gift, something changes in you and you start looking at life differently. When, it's one thing to have memorized your own gift, but it's also wise to memorize all 7 so that you can see what's going on around you and how to interact with these people. You don't have to tell them anything. You just know how to interact. And it's pretty simple. It's like I was saying before, it's, you're looking for the lightning bolt and it's the gentle breeze that came by, it's the subtle things. And a lot of this work is very subtle. Healing is very subtle. You'll notice you don't have those ailments anymore. It was like when I first met Joe, I had problems with my left knee. This thing would swell up like a grapefruit every year around fall. And when he taught me how to balance my, use the forks and stuff like that on it, it doesn't do that anymore. It's been 20 some odd years, 29 years, 28 years since my knee swelled up. It used to swell up annually. And I fixed that. I did, not Joe. I did. So, physician, heal thyself. Nobody ever healed anybody of anything. It was always the The healer's the one sitting on the table. So if you're out there saying, "Oh, I can heal,"
baby.
that's a big can of worms there. So, anywho, without getting too far off base, this year's event will be mostly about teachings, and if we have enough people, more than 30 people, more than 40 people, in the hundreds would be nice. We can send out some vibrations and alter and shift what's going on right now. I don't know. I only know a couple people that are happy with what's going on, and they're not happy in their lives. So, and the only reason why they're happy is because they won't admit that they probably made the wrong decision in life, and they may have to reevaluate things, and they're just not willing to do that. What this work does is it opens up the opportunity for you to have that opportunity happen for you on a regular basis if you choose. So always comes down to choice. You get to choose to do it. But Michael on many occasions has told the masters how important their participation is. And I'm going to reiterate that. You're important, you matter, you are significant, and your participation does something. So, and there's my 2 cents for a nickel. Give me my nickel. Looks like drink your golden milk and sleep well. That's cute. That's about all I got. We're going to do this again April 12th. It'll be a Sunday. Why are we doing April 12th? Easter? Is Easter Sunday the week before? You're on mute.
See.
Yeah, Easter. Okay. Easter Sunday is the week before. So the week after Easter, we're going to do this again. And again,
April
if you have,
5th.
Yep. Karen and Kenny, if you know anyone who would like to be a speaker or teach a subject, that's relevant to what we're doing, let us know. We'd like to get them on the schedule. Any master.
Needs to be participants.
We need participants to,
Yeah. Step up and teach, because that's what we do, is we teach them to teach.
Yeah, and this will give them an opportunity to, even if you're not too sure of the subject, but you would like to talk about it, that you feel partial to a subject.
As long as it has to do with what we're doing, I'm totally open to it.
Absolutely. So that, we can help you arrange your agenda on what do you want to talk about, and bring you up to date on more things that you may not be aware of, and you can probably provide us with stuff, information that you found that's pertinent and other masters would like to know about.
Yep.
So
we need help with a couple of things. We need help with a couple of things. We need people to teach our stuff, the stuff that we're teaching, or something very, very similar that's along the lines that leads us to this. Also musicians. We just don't have one right now. So new musicians would be great. I don't know if I know there's masters that have been in the audience that have been dying to play music for the group. Get in touch with me. Get in touch with Laura. We'll be happy to entertain whatever venues you might have, and we will have time for you as far as music goes. If not, we've got a sound system. That sound system there is really top notch. So, and we've got a variety of musics that we can utilize. You don't always have to have live music, but it's nice to have live music. It's fun, interactive. So there's that. Anything else? Anyone?
Nope.
Okay. So the next Zoom meeting will be on Sunday, April 12th. Same gathering time, same gathering channel. And as always, my blessings, my gifts, my deeds are of you. Nanu.
Yeah, right.
Always have to do the nanu thing. It's funny. Bless your heart with love.
Yeah, love.